All right. We're going to go live just a little bit early because, military want to be early, that whole mindset. What we're going to talk about today is the start of our whole live series is, are you holding your own business back? I am going to talk from a personal experience because obviously I'm a business owner and these are some things that I did that I hope that you don't end up doing. You're going to see me look over here. It's because I've got some notes just to keep me on track. I'm going to try to keep this 10 to 15 minutes. And if you see it while it's live, great. If you see it as a replay, even better. So first of all, I'm Lisa. I'm the owner of Della Designs. I started Della Designs in 2017 as part of massage therapy and marketing and doing some things. And then I made it a full-fledged marketing agency in 2018 and then just kind of made it my full-time job in 2021. COVID did a lot for all of us, and I wanted to make my business my thing, and so I could be mobile and I could be with my family. So we all know that many founders unintentionally hinder the growth of their business, and here's some reasons why they do that. Your pitfalls are insisting on quality control. You hire people to help you so that they can be the subject matter experts. So let them be the subject matter experts. They're actually not so married to what you're doing that they can actually see it from the eyes of a client or the ideal client or the customer. So often we see things as a vision of this is what I want it to be, this is how I want it to be. That has a lot of value. But ultimately, if you don't speak to the customer, you're not going to be able to get their business in the short term or in the long term. So micromanagement is not a good thing. It is not a good thing for anybody, for you, your clients, for your customers. I said the same thing twice, but for you, your clients, or your employees. You want to make sure that you give them the freedom to grow so that they can perform for you the best that they can perform for you. All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about how we can keep that kind of going on track. With marketing, the great thing is we can create a brand guide, which has, I like to actually create the full brand Bible. The full brand Bible not only has what you want the brand to look like, but how you want the brand to speak. So that way we make sure that we are talking about the solutions that your brand offers to the clients. Another way that we can do this is we give them a couple snippets of what we want things to look like. So that way we make sure we're not overly stepping our bounds, and we give them the freedom to grow and to develop. And we can see what the customer and our audience actually wants. One of the things I ran into is I wanted to be the sole expert. Everyone's capable of doing the tasks that you assign them. So just give them the freedom to do that and grow. If they don't have the ability to do that, then you need to do your job, which as a leader in your organization is to grow those clients or grow your employees, grow your contractors, make sure that they are meeting the expectations you have. Did you set the expectations out well enough? I use ClickUp for my business. One of my clients actually uses Asana, and this is a great way to explain what it is you need, what you want, and the timelines you want them. So those are some good options to use. I call that one, and I put being the sole expert and being the final editor syndrome as kind of one and the same. I do think that you do need to read things over, but you should also have the faith in the person that you are entitling the work to. So make sure that it is and speaks the way you want it to, but you don't need to be so hindered and driven in to what it is up here because you are, like I said, too married to the project. And often you're losing sight on what it is that your client wants. That's going to be the underlying theme for most of this whole live series that we're going to do. If you are so in your business that you can't look at it from up here, you're never going to be able to talk to your client in the way that's going to resonate with them to get them to buy and get to them to be returning customers. Another one that can be a problem is you hire like-minded people. You hire them because you enjoy their company, because they mirror you, because they do the things that you like. But ultimately, you need somebody that's going to agitate a little bit, because if you don't agitate, you don't grow. You don't blossom and grow, and then you get to that point where you get stale, and then you got to agitate it again. So you want to make sure that you are hiring people that have a skill you don't, that you want to learn, or that you just want them to take on and do, so that you can have the faith in them. And then we've got centralized decision making. We kind of talked a little bit about that in some of the earlier stuff. If you're the bottleneck because you have to be the approval authority, then you are going to slow down everything for progress. So if you hire a social media manager, I have a VA on my team who is absolutely amazing. She turns and burns things very quickly for me. And I just read it to make sure it's A-okay. I don't read it for I read it for the grammar. I read it for things like that, but I don't actually read it to change the mind of what she's written, because she had an intent behind it, and it's based on the things that we had talked about that I wanted. Anne is amazing. If you are ever messaging back and forth with hello at Della Design, you are speaking with Anne, and she's my rock star. You got to make sure that you're advocating, one, for the distributed decision making and empowering your employees. If you don't empower your employees, they're never going to, one, they won't stay around. And two, they're never going to grow into who you need them to be to have your agency or your business grow. So make sure that you are empowering them to make decisions. Like Anne makes decisions on the social media. Are they always what I envision? No. But they're often very effective, and they're getting clients for us, and they're doing the things that we need them to. So that's one of the things I want you to take yourself out and think about, is the centralized decision making. Are you empowering your employees to make those decisions? I did not with my first go round. I had 2 rounds that were rough. One, I went too far and I did not empower my employee. And then the second time I empowered without checking in. So you need to make sure that you're creating the cycle, that you're growing. So and it'll ebb and flow, but you want to make sure that you are making smart decisions, empowering your employees, double checking to make sure they're doing what they're doing. But if you use a project management software like Asana, ClickUp, Trello, all those things, you have a way to keep in touch and keep informed. And if you use Canva, you can check in on the designs, you can leave some notes, but you're not going to override and overwrite, because then you're defeating the power of, you're defeating what you've just empowered them to do. So when we were just talking about my personal experience, the first employee I had, or contractor I had, I went really heavy and I dialed everything in to the nth degree. I want this to say this, this to say this, this to say this. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. She didn't last very long. She was with me for probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And that was because I didn't even give her a chance to get started, because nothing was right. And because I was gun shy from that and I hired the next one, I kind of gave her free rein. And it didn't check in, and I noticed things were growing and it was great. And I was like, it's growing, it's great. Didn't look at what was going on. When I actually dug into what they were doing, they were using some not so great tactics. You'll see people do follow for follow. Please don't ever do that. It's actually against Instagram's guidelines. So don't put yourself or your account in jeopardy by doing a follow for follow, unless you're going to be an engaged following. If it's an engaged community and you are growing each other's businesses, that's one thing. But if you're just jumping on a group and you're saying, hey, let's do a follow for follow on Instagram, you're going to tank yourself in your algorithm. And that's actually what this young lady was doing. All the while I was touting in some groups on Facebook specifically that follow for follow isn't a good thing, but yet I've got a person that was doing that. And it actually shut down my Instagram account, and I was able to recover it. But there's just something about that you need to think about. So as we grow, as we do these things, remember, we need to, let's recap it. We don't need We need to not be the total quality control. We can't be the sole expert. We don't have the final editor syndrome, and then hiring like-minded individuals, because all of that will centralize your decision making and you need to decentralize it. Another thing that's going to tank your business is you not being present. I want you to make sure that you're showing up online. While there's a lot of great things about this no face or faceless reels and things like that, those are great, but you need to make sure you're supplementing them with quality content that shows you, because you are ultimately who people are going to connect with the know, like, and trust. So please make sure that you are taking the time and the energy to engage with your clients, engage in the reels. It doesn't even have to be that I talk. I could just be pointing. I could just be drinking a cup of coffee and things are going down the screen. I don't have to talk every day because nobody wants to hear my voice every day. I don't want to hear my voice every day. So those are some things that we are going to go over in this kind of the start of everything that we're doing with this live series. So you know what we want to do. You know that I've done this. You know that I've had my issues. If you've got any questions on what you're doing and you need some guidance, and it's simple level business questions, things like that, I'm your girl. If you need actual coaching as far as businesses, I've got great connections as far as that is concerned, and I will make sure to connect you with them because they're more in depth in the business coaching than I am. I can coach you on marketing all day long, but business itself is not my strongest suit. So please like, follow, and share if this brought you any information that you liked. And we shall see you on our live next Wednesday. Have a great day.